It's still hard to believe what we saw this January. First with the Palisades fire and then the Eaton fire. Out of control flames. Homes, businesses, and schools destroyed. Entire neighborhoods wiped off the map.
It's all gone. It's all gone.
In the following months, every range of emotion, disbelief, anger.
I think most of us are in shock.
But also empathy.
We're here for each other. The roses, they will bloom.
And even hope.
We're down, but we are not out.
Now we see a different sign of hope. The sight of wood framing where rubble once sat. The promise of new memories of a thriving community again. That brings us here to Mariposa Junction, part of which was destroyed in the Eaton fire. Because as we head into the holiday season, many families will be sitting around the table sharing in conversation. Talks that can be frank and honest, sometimes even uncomfortable. But hopefully, in the end, that time around the table reminds us of what we are truly thankful for. And I'm thankful for the guests who are here with me now. Dr. Ishelle Williams, whose 17 members of your family were displaced in the Eaton fire. We also have Phil and Karen Giffen from the Palisades, whose home was always a place of celebration during the holidays, a place where folks gathered. Shauna Dawson-Beer, who is an organizer, an activist, and an advocate for the beautiful Altadena community group. We have Chef Tyler Wells, who lost his home and nearly his restaurant, and Jennifer Tolbert, head of the St. Mark's School here in Altadena, which was destroyed by the fires. Everybody, it is wonderful to have you all here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we will be detailing what the last 10 months have been like for all of you during, of course, this half-hour special. But I want to start with you, Dr. Ishelle Williams. We're looking at video here of you all looking at your place. What was that like, and what's it looking like looking at it now?
Initially, it was quite shocking. It's unexpected. You don't expect that everything would be burned. So having my son there, I really wanted to guard his heart.
Yeah.
Just as I had told many people, when you go there, really guard your heart and do whatever it is you need to, because it's so daunting. Being there and watching him experience his home and his things and the tears, because it was so impactful.
Well, we know there's so much more to your story. Our Lydia Pentaz has had a chance to spend time with you and shares more of what this year's been like. Here's Lydia.
Cooking a meal may seem simple, but for Ishelle Williams, it's one of the first things that's made life feel normal again. It happened earlier this month, standing at the stove when her son Braden said something that stopped her.
And he came to me and he goes, "Mom, this feels like Altadena."
Altadena, the place they called home before the Eaton fire destroyed 4 of her family's homes, including the one she and Braden rented for 17 years. This holiday season, the first major one since the fire, Ishelle is focusing on gratitude. She's now bought the land where she rented and plans to rebuild right where her life once stood. But what she's most thankful for is the strength she carries with her.
The thing I'm thankful for most is my heritage and my ancestors. And as my ancestors have been through so much worse, as they've been through fires and they've been through just not being recognized and not being seen, I am thankful for their fortitude to just push forward.
Ishelle says that resilience passed down through generations is what keeps her moving forward, and it's something she sees growing in her son. For Braden, strength shows up in movement. Dance has been his outlet, a place where the loss of home and community feels a little lighter.
Yeah, it's helped me express myself a lot, because a lot of the dances that I'm doing this year leveled up from last year, because I feel like I've grown and expanded in my dancing.
Rebuilding will take time. Her 2 sisters already have their plans approved, and Ishelle hopes she's next. But even after everything, this holiday season, the tradition of being together remains.
We've got a longer trek, right? We've got to go across the freeway and do some things a little bit different than previously.
And on this first Thanksgiving since losing everything, they're proving that what survived the flames is what matters most: family, faith, and the strength to start again.
You know, obviously a lot of the conversation we'll have is it's not just the home, it's the memory, it's the people, it's the family. And again, so many family members are near you in that area.
One of the things I always say is they broke up the band We were so close, and everybody just living a stone's throw away from one another. It takes us effort to get together now. When, I could watch my son run up the street and be on the phone with my mom, in 1 minute he's there. It's really important that we support one another as we move forward. We just do whatever it is that we have to do.
Well, we're hoping the band will still be able to get back together. We don't want to break up the band forever, so that's what we're hoping for. All right, now we're going to introduce you to Phil and Karen Giffen. They are from the Pacific Palisades, where Karen, I hear you are a host of many parties, many gatherings, and you're kind of the go-to for that.
Oh, yeah. Every Thanksgiving is at our house, and this year we're having 18 people. Kind of crazy. Trying to figure out how to coordinate all that, get all the dishes, all the serving plates, the tables, all the stuff that you had at one point and you didn't even think about.
Right.
And then you go to reach for it, and it's like, oh my God, I don't even have a fork for the turkey. Just little things like that. But yes, we're excited about having the old gang back together again.
Well, you said 18. You might want to make it 19?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Come on over.
All right, well, we'll talk some more about that right now. Chase Beach has more on their story. Here's Chase.
I made this version of stuffing over Christmas 2023, and it made all of my stuffing dreams come true.
She's getting ready for Thanksgiving. For years, Karen Giffen and her family have compiled beloved recipes, perfecting them, and even laying out where to buy the best ingredients.
All our stuff that we get from Costco, we've already been once, but we're going to go again.
She says Thanksgiving became the holiday her family always hosted.
It's rewarding when you look at the table and all that food is on it, looks so pretty and it tastes so good.
And the anchor for those celebrations was their beloved home of over 30 years in the Pacific Palisades. Karen, her 2 kids, and her husband would host their family and friends. A yearly tradition was a walk on the Palisades bluffs. These photos are from last Thanksgiving. Just a few months later, their house looked like this. It's especially jarring for Karen. Not only has she raised her family in the Palisades, it's where she was raised. This photo of Karen and her family was taken in their backyard.
It's just my whole history is there. I just know it so well.
Despite being separated from her hometown, Karen and her daughter Willa are determined to keep the Thanksgiving traditions going. This year, in their rental house, they'll be hosting 18 people. It's hard for Karen's husband, Phil, to imagine how it'll work.
I'm even trying to imagine, well, where are we going to congregate? What room? Where will we stand? I mean, because it's just different.
But their daughter Willa says hosting will be part of healing. She's been busy making decorations.
So when our house burnt down in the Palisades, one of the first things I thought about was Thanksgiving and how we could still make it work. It feels like a really big milestone to be able to do this again.
And Karen says, despite the pain they've felt this year, 2025 has also been a reminder of what's most important.
It's just that, family really matters. Family and friends. It's shown me even more that that's true.
Karen and Phil, I love the idea that you all are saying, no matter what, we're going to make this happen and we're going to make it be the best holiday that we can, given everything. So rooting for you. And again, might be 19 folks at the party this year.
Just bring your own chair.
All right, true. I got that. It's in the trunk. We will have more from Altadena on After the Wildfires, Healing Together, next. Welcome back to our Spectrum News special, After the Wildfires, Healing Together, here in Altadena. And one of the reasons this table looks so amazing is because of our guest, chef and restaurant owner, Tyler Wells. Tyler, thank you for being here. Thank you for the spread and your time as well. I want to talk about your restaurant, Betsy. It's you didn't think you'd be here. During the fires, you thought you'd lose it, and yet it's still here. What was that like, thinking you may have lost something that you worked so hard for?
It's pretty surreal. I spent the morning believing it was gone. So much information, 100 text messages from the neighbors over here, and said everything's gone. And I sort of sat with it and thought, well, okay. I mean, what do you even do?
Right.
Prepared for something like that.
Well, our Natalie Basha, who is one of our foodie experts around here, she had a chance to tell more of Tyler's story and Betsy's story as well.
It's a bustling Monday night at Betsy in Altadena, patrons filling the tables. But just a few months ago, this neighborhood spot was closed permanently. His restaurant, Bernie, had only been open for 1 month before the Eaton fire tore through Altadena and forever changed the neighborhood. Restaurateur Tyler Wells lost his home during what was already a low point in his life.
My wife and I just sort of had a mutual agreement to separate. We lived in West Altadena and I moved across town right over onto Eaton Canyon on January 2nd. And then the house burned down.
Tyler's restaurant survived the blaze, but his marriage and his spirit did not.
It was just another felt like another kick while I was down a little bit.
The simultaneous loss of both his home and his marriage threw him into a state of depression, so much so that he decided not to reopen Bernie.
The town's gone. I mean, how do you open a restaurant?
But his team at Bernie wouldn't let Tyler give up.
And then I'd get another call and another text, and we have to reopen the restaurant.
And it was their support and encouragement that led Tyler, 9 months after the fire, to finally go for it, to reopen the restaurant, but this time as Betsy.
All right then, let's have us a great service. I don't want to do anything without these people. This is my team, and we are a family. We are very much a family.
Tyler's chef, Cameron Gill, says the whole team waited and prayed for the restaurant to return.
It was probably the best restaurant I've worked at in terms of just everybody caring for each other.
It'll take a lot more than a devastating fire to knock us down.
Altadena resident and community organizer Shauna Dawson-Beer, who also lost her home in the Eaton fire, says that camaraderie from the team and the vibe that it creates at the restaurant made Betsy the neighborhood's home away from home when so many don't have one.
The running joke is that we can't come here without seeing at least, a few people you know. On some nights, the entire space is filled with Altadena people.
Tyler says it fills him with pride and a sense of responsibility.
I mean, that's what a restaurant does. A restaurant provides that feeling. It's like it needs to be a place for people to gather and experience joy.
And Tyler hopes that Betsy will continue to be a source of joy for the Altadena community for many years to come.
Congratulations, Eater.com has given you one of the best restaurants in the country, so let's give it up for Chef Tyler. Congrats to you.
Congratulations.
And we'll talk about that steak a little bit later on. Want to introduce a couple people here at the table with us as well. Shauna Dawson-Beer, who is an advocate, is an activist, and we'll tell more of her story in just a moment. Also, Jennifer Tolbert, who is running St. Mark's School, where the faculty and staff have been doing the absolute best that they can to with the families and the students feel welcomed and a sense of normalcy despite it all. Shauna, I'm going to go back to you. What's the experience been like for you and the folks who are around you?
For me personally, I'm a long ways from rebuilding because I still have to deal with an insurance claim. I have to deal with a number of other things, get through, like many of us, what is likely going to be litigation. So we have a long road ahead, but we're down. I'm not going to lie, right? We're down, but we are not out.
Let's have a conversation. We're here, holiday season. This is obviously the first holiday for folks in this community, Palisades as well, who have gone through this. I'll start with you here, Jennifer. The holidays were here, but even leading up to this, you've had to run a school, and it's your own personal situation, but then you also have so many other people who are leaning on you for resources to kind of keep their spirits high. What's that been like? And then how your students have still responded this holiday season?
Yeah, I think it's a blessing to work in a school. I'll say that first and foremost, because when you're around children, you're always mindful that they look up to you, that you're a meaning maker for them. So I'm inspired by the teachers who have been on the front lines since the beginning. Bringing that sense of normalcy you mentioned earlier is so important. For me, I think it's been a hard time, but exactly what Shauna said, we're down, but we're not out. We're determined to rebuild and to come back, as soon as we can, to be a beacon of hope to others.
What you've done, what the school has done, the resiliency of the kids and the families, it has definitely resonated throughout the communities. This time of season, folks are grateful, folks are thankful. But on the other end, I could imagine for folks who lost so much, it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be sadness. Maybe Phil and Karen, do you find yourself around this season maybe more grateful and thankful, or do you find yourself, is it hard to have that sense of gratitude?
I'm always attempting to dig deep for the gratitude, but there you have it. I'm digging deep because above that, it's like you said, sadness, anger. When we first talked about having Thanksgiving, I thought, there's no way. But it was my wife and our daughter. Their optimism said, no, we'll have it.
You brought up something I find interesting. Sean, I want to ask you this. Phil just mentioned, Karen, daughter, kind of still bringing the optimism. How much have you been able to, and maybe I imagine you've been that for other people, but having people to lean on. Some days you may feel optimistic, some days sad, some days, upset, angered, but having the people you can lean on their shoulder, and some days they can lean on yours. What's that been like?
I do feel gratitude. Every time I have a conversation, every time I'm doing a piece like this, anytime I'm at the grocery store buying something or replacing a singular item, all I can think about is the fact that I'm here doing that and not all of my neighbors are. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. And I see that in our beautiful Altadena group, in our subgroups, and and all the other places that folks connect, because our groups became on January 8th a giant support and grief group. That's what we are. We're 10,000 grieving people, and working through it together.
If we look ahead a little bit, Tyler, obviously, again, you thought your restaurant, you wouldn't have it, but here you are, Betsy, thriving. What else are you looking for? A year from now, what are you hoping for? What are you thinking life will look like for you, for the restaurant, your community?
Yeah, for us, it's just staying the course. It's day by day. We're a neighborhood restaurant. That's all I've ever wanted to be, and wasn't sure we had a neighborhood, and to see the outpouring of support and people come and find out what it means to them. And I don't know that people know what it means to us. So many of us in the restaurant lost so much, and I was certain that I wasn't coming back, and it was just like slow drumbeat from the staff to continue to call and say, hey, we're coming back. It was so encouraging, and I feel like that energy's kind of carried through to the community, and it's such a beautiful opportunity. We get to see so many people every week and try to take care of them and show them a good time, and just remember what this town's about, why we all came here in the first place.
That's what the vibe was when I walked in. Everybody seemed to be in good spirits, enjoying, great drinks, great food. So you love to see that. And I want to say thank you all for your transparency, authenticity in this conversation. I know it's not, easy to have, but this is what it's all about, is coming together as a community and sharing thoughts and keeping each other's spirits lifted. And so hopefully this conversation did a little bit of that. We've got a lot more here in Altadena. We are back at our holiday table here in Altadena with people from all across Southern California that were affected by this year's wildfire. Now, the word that I would use for Jennifer Tolbert and the kids at St. Mark's this year is resilience. Jennifer, that's the word that I would use. What word would you use?
I would say the word grace also resonates when I think about what we've been through, and literally grace under fire, finding optimism. And the resilience, it's a partner word, I think, to resilience. I'm just inspired by our entire community. And I think it speaks to the town of Altadena. That's who we are. Our school was a neighborhood school, is a neighborhood school. And so we take our identity from Altadena.
Let me tell you, the people don't play about your school. They love it. And it's also amazing. Our Terilyn Wagner has more on how these young folks have really been keeping the holiday spirit alive. We want you to check it out.
And it brings me such joy to see our kids out here.
Hearing the sound of laughter as she walks around St. Mark's Village is not something Jennifer Tolbert takes for granted. It's been an extraordinary year, one that began with great loss. Jennifer's home was destroyed by the Eaton Fire, which also consumed the original St. Mark's campus. As the holiday season approached, she says it began hitting her in ways she didn't expect.
I think the holidays are reminding me of some of the things that I don't have any longer. And yet at the same time, it's helping me, I think, be really empathetic to those who are going through the same thing that I am.
It's no small number. More than 30 families enrolled in the Episcopalian Elementary School lost their homes.
But we haven't lost our spirit and we haven't lost our community.
That community was on full display at the school's annual Grandparents and Special Friends Day, one of the long-standing traditions Jennifer is determined to maintain as she tries to give the students a sense of normalcy. Students entertained their special guests with a musical retelling of the story Stone Soup, a folk tale about the power of community and the value of sharing.
Their performance reminds us that even in difficult times, we can create something beautiful together.
Shining on the stage was 5-year-old Stella, whose home was also lost in the fire.
Nothing left but the trampoline in the yard.
For a few months, Stella's family lived with her grandparents in Pasadena. Her grandfather, Bob Davidson, who beamed in the audience, says St. Mark's has been a part of their family for generations. His son, Julian, Stella's uncle, also attended the school.
The connections that they made of other families who've lost their homes and went to St. Mark's, they all stay together, play together. They find a real community.
The St. Mark's community is also holding on to the tradition of sharing what they're grateful for, with children listing things like family and shelter.
Home is a spirit that you bring to the place where you are. And so even though we're not on our home campus, we still call wherever we are together home.
A place filled with love, family, tradition, and comfort.
That's the beauty about kids, the resiliency, and they know that they've gone through some things, but they can just keep persevering. And they even give us hope. Even though we're the adults, they can give us hope. Well, I want to say thank you to our guests for joining us, and also thank you as well at home for taking a seat at our table. It's been great to have you here. It's been great to hear your stories. So here's to all of you that this next year will bring you a better future. We'll continue to have faith. We'll continue to have hope. We'll continue to have community, resiliency, and most of all, love and joy. So cheers to you all. And cheers to you at home as well.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.